Hey guys, gonna make a video on APLM. I made a video before, but I feel like it was kind of too long and meandered. I just want to go over this video. I want to focus on some bookmap stuff. I made a bookmap read on this. This is good. This video is a good example of using bookmap to kind of get an entry where you wouldn't have normally gotten an entry, right? Maybe you're waiting for something else. Maybe you thought it was super bullish, but the book map, which is ultimately the order book. It shows you all the orders on the ask, all the orders on the bid, at all the price points, right? And really, the market is the order book, right? The market is how many orders on the ask, how many orders on the bid, and how much volume is going through the tape. That's the whole market. That's what the whole market is. So APLM, former SPAC, down 98% or whatever. It's a penny stock. And yeah, starts trading big volume. 50-cent stock starts trading big volume, big gap. And I was just watching it. I was just watching here. Big volume comes in, and I just see again. I was watching the bookmap on this. I didn't really see any of my patterns here. I just see a bunch of bids, stack, 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 tons and tons of bids on the bookmap. Didn't take a screenshot of this. Took a screenshot of other stuff, but I was just seeing a lot of consistent volume, and it's super grindy. I told my Discord, like, hey guys, I'm going to wait for market open on this. This is too grindy. This is not the volatility. The best shorts are these crazy volatile moves. Look at INM, look at NBAI, look at SASI. These types of like highly volatile, like where stuff's like moving like these like big swipes to the downside, big aggressive moves to the upside. All within 1-2 minutes. Um, honestly, that's the type of action you want to see. Because that's the type of stuff that leads to the cleanest short traps, the cleanest long traps, and the biggest fades. Grindy stuff, not great. Big interesting thing, high day clear out right here. Big volume, and what we learn in manipulated float land is high day clearouts in the right context can be really, really strong, right? They're short traps, right? And in my Discord, I have a whole section on cloud short traps. This is when high day clearouts, or even like fake breakouts slash clearouts at lower levels end up squeezing a lot later, right? So here's APLM. Here's TPST on the video I made, the 7.5 huge volume clear out. You'll notice a lot of the commonalities of when does a high day clear out. Here's SASI, squeeze, high day clear out under squeeze. The biggest factor in determining whether a high day clear out is going to squeeze, be a short trap and squeeze again, is volume, and it's also the structure leading up to the stock, right? A lot of times you'll see high day clear outs work. These short traps work very well when they swipe pre-market. High days, this is very common to swipe pre-market high day and squeeze. Sometimes it's in the pre-market itself. In APLM's case, this level was very painted, very painted, very painted. High day clear out on the clear painted level, then the squeeze, right? And squeeze doesn't necessarily mean 20, 30, 40%. Sometimes they're just swiping whatever that previous high was, right? You never quite know where it's going to go. But in this case, I know since this is right before market open, and since this is trading pretty decent volume in the market open, I'm like, market open is probably going to trade 1 million, 2 million shares per minute. They could use market open volume to punish the shorts chasing this, right? And I saw the bid support going into market open, and then I saw the volume come in. I'm like, all right, I thought, okay, this is definitely going to at least push 1.42, right? And it pushes 1.42, and it pulls back. And usually I would want to see some type of consolidation, some type of structure, maybe have it pull down to 1.3s, bounce a little bit, maybe have this 1.4 level get targeted, like some type of like pullback to support, base hit support, and then some type of aggressive move that I might think is weak. That longs might want to chase before they pull, something like that. So normally that'd be something especially with this type of like 2 million, 2 million, 2 million volume, like that's something, I know this volume has potential for a lot of rigging, a lot of strength. I'm going to want to see some clear signals, right? And, back in the day, before I started using a bookmap, I would actually just miss on these trades. Like this would just go straight down here because I usually don't like trying to guess this high day, guess this high day. Like how many high days you gonna guess? In a weaker market, that might work out for you. In a stronger market, you might take 3, 4, 5, 6 cuts trying to do something like that. So the habits you form in weaker markets, determine your success when it gets harder out there, right? When it gets a lot stronger, right? Weaker markets, reward, you know, not great habits, and then stronger markets punish them, right? So that's how it works. But go to Bookmap. Go back to my Discord. I have a whole Bookmap section on um, short signals. Long trap short signals. Um, what I saw here. So we're gonna focus here. High day clear out. That's here. High day clear out. Right. It pulls back. And then I'm watching, and I see them stack the bid here. I'm like, all right, it's pretty normal, especially once you start studying Bookmap. The reason they're stacking bids is because they want to pull it down to those bids, right? The algo actually already knows what level it wants to pull it down to, and they'll start stacking bids to catch it there, right? You see it catch, and I see it push, and usually when I see if I'm trying to look for a short entry on Bookmap or trying to use Bookmap to like confirm maybe a pattern I already trade, for example, backside clearouts or fake 5-minute flags, whenever and this really didn't fit any of my patterns. This ended up being very discretionary um, because of what we see up here. But what I like to see is I like to see aggressive initiation off support, and when I like to see that aggressive initiation, I like to see no bids follow it up. You'll find that on the strongest stocks, they'll start throwing bids. They'll start throwing like 20, 30K here, 20, 30K here, 20, like they'll start stacking bids. Like they'll push it, stack more bids, push it, stack. Like that's what real strength looks like, is just constant bid stacking. They're just shoving that thing up, man. And they're just like every pullback just gets insta-soaked. A lot of times it's on like the 1 minute 9, 1 minute 20, goes straight up. In this case, no bids following up. I'm like, that's pretty interesting. There was a bunch of bids here, and now there's none here. That's, I like, that's not enough for me to just hit my short buttons, but I like to see it, right? And then, right before they touch this 1.4 on this push, they put 100K there. And not only did they put 100K there on this push, you can't actually see on this green circle, but 100,000 shares went through the ask at 1.39, 1.4, between 1.39, because there's a bunch of decimal places that, of orders that are in between 1.39 and 1.4. 100K went through this, and this 100K ask did not move. Like 100K went through, there was 100K there, it went through, and then there was still 100K there on the way back, and I'm just like, I was like, and then I saw the lack of bid support. I was like, I'm just gonna throw some shares in at 1.38, especially the fact that they did, this is like a pre-market short trap into a squeeze, right? So I always like to see shorts get squeezed before looking at Bookmap for possible entry signals. But yeah, I wasn't super confident in this. I only threw up a third of my shares. Because this isn't really fitting necessarily a pattern I was looking for. This is just a Bookmap read of, hey, these guys are stacking this, and then a bunch of orders went through it, and the stack is still there, and there's no bids to the downside. Let me throw up something up, and then rest is history. It down halted and went straight down. But yeah, so yeah, this is very interesting. The other interesting play was let's see if I go the backside clear out. A couple guys, I was doing a webinar with Mikey Underdog about Bookmap, about this stuff on my Discord. More information down below in the description about how you can join the Discord, what's in it. I have a video that goes over what's in it. Mikey Underdog and I went over a Bookmap thing during this. Can you see my cursor? Sorry. During this trade right here, your painted backside, so this $1 level, very painted. Whenever you get lower highs stacked right next to each other on the backside, and you could look really far left, but I was looking mostly at these guys right here, and you can look even farther left. I like to see even more, lower highs stacked to the left, like here, 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 here. Those become prime targets for this type of like high volume. Like this went from like 0 shares to like 300, 400,000. You know what I mean? Like out of nowhere. Up only, not crazy up only, but up only in terms of the support level to the clear out, right? And these are the best. And again, we can see this on Bookmap. you can see all these green candles right here. These are all the market stop losses from shorts and also longs chasing getting executed, right? These are all market orders. These are all green market orders. So like, and you can see on the book, there's no orders between 0.97 and 1.05. So why did this backside clear out top at 1.05? Because they were stacking the ask ahead of time, right? The ask is already stacked there. The algo knows it's stacked there. The algo knows the order book's really thin in this area, and they know shorts are risking those lower highs. Longs would be looking to buy the backside breakout, um, and it just eats through the entire book up to that level, right? And then what I like to do on these backside clearouts is I like to see the pullback and I like to see the second push. And on those second pushes, I just look at what's the volume looking like, and on the book map, where are the ass stacked? Where is this going to hit resistance when it gets up higher? And a lot of times it won't even, sometimes it breaks through this 105, maybe pushes 106, 107, pulls back. Sometimes it just stalls right away. You got time to react. Like this, like from here to here before the crack, this is like 3 minutes. You have time to react, and you sometimes you make a discretionary choice of like, hey, maybe I was waiting for a 1.05 push on this little secondary push here, but if I think the ask is too thick and the volume's too small, I'll just take a position right now. And you can get in 104, and this went down only 15 minutes from 104 to 0.85, right? Almost 20% fade in 15 minutes. And a couple guys in my Discord absolutely hit this, perfect trades, and they just caught, they just added their covers back or added even more to their position and caught the bit, and then they closed at 4 p.m. or whatever, right? Nice, easy 20-cent fade, straight down. And you see, like again, what I was saying earlier on the book map, when you see these, if I'm thinking backside clear out, the idea behind a backside clear out is it gets the short stop losses, gets some longs to chase, but there's no real bid support. Again, you don't see almost any orders on the bid here to the downside. And you'll find out on really strong stocks, you'll find the bid being constantly put under. Actually, I'll just go to some examples. Here's Lin, right? LIN, when it went from 2.1 to 3.4, especially this move. You could see them. They stack the bid. They stack the bid. They stack the bid. They stack. That's what like real strength looks like. You'll see them constantly stack the bid as it pushes higher, right? So, here's MDAI in the pre-market. This was at market open. But you see some bid stacks. You see some more bid stacks, and you'll see them pushing through all these orders. Again, ICU, they threw some bids up here to push it. They threw some bids up here to push it. You'll see this a lot. You'll see the market maker who's looking to squeeze stocks, especially strong stocks that are about to go on runs. You'll see them they'll break through key resistance levels. Like there'll be like 50,000 shares on the ask. It'll eat through the 50,000 shares, and then they'll put like 50,000 shares on the bid. It's called a book flip. Mikey Underdog talks a lot about this. Look up Mikey's videos about Bookmap. But yeah, you'll see these book flips. You'll see them start supporting the bid on these aggressive pushes, right? But getting back to APLM, the best shorts are these little clear outs where there's no bid support, right? So if there's no bid support, the asks are getting stacked. You see more ask stacks, more like unless a bunch of market buying and sometimes you do see like a bunch of relentless market buying push things up, even though the bids look really thin. I've seen that happen. So not everything is as clear cut in the market because it's the market. Sometimes your thesis is right, sometimes it's wrong. But I will say, playing the odds, I like to see a backside pattern like this with no bids on the book map with offers up higher that it has to eat through in order to keep pushing. And this is they stacked some bids at 0.95. That's why I found support. And then there was nothing all the way down to 0.85. It just went straight down. So, so this ended up being an interesting one. This one of those plays that pre-bookmap, I probably wouldn't have. My daughter's right next to me. Probably would not have taken something like this because I was like, the signal wasn't very clear or something like that. But what do you call it? But yeah, 100K on the ask, no bids below. They keep restacking. A bunch of orders went through it. They keep restacking it. Good signal. I wish it went in more. Yeah, some people on my Discord mentioned IPO lockup. It was more than 6 months after the IPO lockup. Insiders can dump their shares. I did not have that thesis when I was going into this trade. But good stuff to know. I'm gonna start looking at if these companies are less than a year old. Do they have share lockups? Is the lockup period expired? Could some insiders be looking to dump? Using this volume as exit liquidity to dump their shares, right? Stuff like that. So interesting stuff. Bookmap reads. It's really nice, man. I'm gonna try throw in a lot more. Sorry, my daughter's trying to hand me something. Bookmap stuff in my videos. Especially when I might have a thesis going into it, but the books tell me something else, and I take a trade base, because the market's the book. At the end of the day, the market is how many people are looking to sell up here, how many people looking to buy down here, and how many people are slapping the bid and slapping the ass. That's really the market. So, hope that was a good one. Hope it was interesting, and yeah, I'll do some more Bookmap stuff soon. Description down below if you want access to the Discord to see stuff like this, where I'm posting interesting, especially in low floats, this like this order book manipulation, how these riggers, you know, pull something into a down halt, squeeze into a hidden seller, stack bid, stack ass, fake retail out with all these aggressive, crazy moves, right? Um, and how you can really use this as a tool to kind of develop a clearer picture so you can make decisions in real time. Um, where you have set risk levels, you're not freaking out, worried about getting squeezed 20, 30% and stuff like that. You could just look at the book, have a thesis of like, hey, based on this thing I've seen over and over and over again, the stuff you see in here, all these types of, here's your classic long trap candle, MDAI, and you can really form some nice thesis about like, hey, like these are where the orders are. If I think this is a long trap, I'm just gonna bet that these orders to the upside don't get through, and then if I see no bids to the downside, man, it's like if my thesis is correct, and I think, you know, this is a good long trap pattern, and the book's confirming what I'm thinking, like you could get in, you know, near the top, really near the top, with really tight risk, and be in on a 20, 30% fade, 35, especially some of these fades that we see nowadays, 40, 50% fades. So, yeah, useful tool. I like it. I've been building this section out more. I like this sectional. And there's also stuff on the long side. Hey, what is these crazy short traps, what do they look like, right, on the book, right? What is real buying? What is really, what do real bids look like? So yeah, more information below. All right, guys, you have a good one.